So today I'll be working on one of the more sadder looking pieces that I've ever worked on. I'll take you out in the shop and show you what I have. But before we do that, welcome to my channel. In case you're new here, my name's Mary, and here on YouTube I love to share the many projects I have going on around here with you all. So join me as I work on turning a piece of furniture into something useful and beautiful. So a while back I picked up a little cabinet at a local thrift store that is pretty homely looking. In fact, even I thought, is there any hope for it? But I think there is. I always have a weakness for little cabinets like this. Growing up, I remember one of my grandmas especially would always have all these cute little cabinets with maybe glass doors and granite tops. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, but just a lot of cottage or farmhouse charm to them. And she would always have her dishes or maybe some silverware in the drawers. I remember some of them would have maybe a floral contact paper backing, just a charming cabinet that anyone would like. So that's kind of the vision I have for this piece. I have to show you exactly what this cabinet looked like when I saw it in the thrift store. It had curtains hanging in the openings. I know it's pretty ugly, but let's see what we can do with it. First thing I did here was sand the whole piece, getting rid of any loose paint and just dulling up the surface. Also removed some hardware. I want to use an air nailer to reinforce the back panel, so I'm going to carry it up to the white shop since I don't have any air right now down here in the brown one. I want to go over the whole piece and kind of reinforce anything that needs to be reinforced. Maybe add some wood pieces to hold things together. So this is the bottom part here, and I'm going to reinforce it. It definitely needs some reinforcement. I'm not sure, can you tell here in the video, but I have a piece of shoe mold that I'll put in here. Here, someone used duct tape to tape this drawer. I'm going to see if I can possibly staple it too to keep it in place. So initially I thought I'd be turning this little cabinet into a coffee bar. I thought it'd be kind of neat to have a coffee maker in the center part with maybe a canister, some mugs on the top shelf, and I thought maybe I'd even add a curtain for the bottom to store some things, you know, behind, give it that kind of farmhousey look. And then I brought it up here on the porch intending to paint it. We have a beautiful day today, so I'll be able to do this on the outside. So I set it against this wall here, and I kind of like to see it there. So now I'm thinking of turning it into a porch cabinet of sorts, I guess. Wonder what you guys think. I guess later on it can always serve as a coffee bar if I ever, you know, change my mind. But I think for now I'm just going to go ahead and paint it. I really debated, do I want to paint it green or white? I think both would look good out here. I think I'll go with white though, because I know once I start, adding plants and other little things, it's just going to pop more if everything is white in there. Plus I plan to add a contact paper as a backing, and I know I'll be safe to just keep it white so that everything will kind of go together. I really debated with this beautiful weather we're having to actually spray paint this piece out on the driveway like I normally do in the summertime. But, sometimes I actually like to see brush strokes on a piece, especially an older piece like this. I feel it just kind of adds to the charm of it. There's a few things I'm going to add to this cabinet before painting the outside, and these are simple things that you may even want to keep in mind if you're ever painting a piece like this that just needs a little bit of extra, character, oomph, whatever you want to call it. I think the shelves are a little bit too thin, so if I add a piece of wood in here, from here to here, kind of cover up that edge and just make that shelf look a little more chunky, I think it's going to look better. There's two shelves, the one up here and then the one down here. And plus, this one down here is actually warped, so that would fix that. If I add a piece of wood, I may be able to actually bring it up and get it straightened out. And the second thing I plan to do is add some kind of character up here on this front. It's amazing what that does if you just add a simple, wood carving, a medallion, a decal, just something to give it a bit of character. Now I'm ready to work on creating something for that header or that top piece. And Cheryl from Patterson Art Studio, I've talked about her before. They have an Etsy shop where they sell those decor transfers along with many other really neat things. Check them out if you haven't. I'll leave their link down below in the description box. But she sent me these molds along with some modeling clay. This is the first time I've really done anything exactly like this. But the way I understand it, you just pack the clay into the mold and allow it to dry and then remove it and you're good to go. You can glue it onto a surface and then paint over it or do with it whatever you want. I think I'll go with some leaf sprigs and a flower for the middle. So the contact paper I plan to add to the back of some of the sections came today, and it is beautiful. I love it. I got it from Amazon. I'll put the link down below in the description box in case you're looking for the exact same thing. But I think it kind of made up my mind what color I'm going to paint this cabinet when I saw the contact paper. I think the outside is going to be green. I have this beautiful green paint that I bought several months ago, not even really knowing what I'm going to do with it. I just like the color, and now I'm so glad I got it. It's called Lichen Moss, and it is that perfect shade of green if you ask me. So I'm going to go ahead and just paint a section of the cabinet and then hold that contact paper, up to it just to make sure that it looks okay before I, paint the whole thing. Yes, as you can see, I do a lot of my projects right here in our house. It's just so much easier for me. Often I may be, cooking something in the kitchen. It's just so handy to not have to go far to go from, project to project, whatever I'm doing. Here I'm removing my little designs from the molds. The instructions said to leave them in the mold for, up to a day to completely air dry them before removing them. And of course I need them sooner, so I did not quite follow these rules. Next time I would definitely try to do that, but it seems to work. They were not quite hardened when I removed them, but still easy to work with. For the leaf here, I think all the sections would have stayed together if I had waited to remove them. but in a way it kind of worked out because I wanted my curve of the leaf sprig to be a little different from the actual, what was in the mold here. So this way I'll be able to kind of play around with that as I glue it onto my piece of furniture. I decided to lay this piece on the kitchen table to paint it. I thought it might be easier. Can't wait to cover up this yuck brown. I'm just not fond of this color. I found this pretty glass drawer pull also on Amazon. I was so impressed when I saw it. It really reminded me of, the kind of pulls that Grandma's cabinets used to have. Being that this cabinet will be on our front porch, one of the first things you see as you enter our home, I want a welcoming little porch sign to be on here. And here I have a plywood round that I'm going to use, and I'm using Canva to create a little design for it. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking I'm going to make these for the Etsy shop. Maybe it's something you guys want for your front porch, a personalized sign. Keep in mind that this would be made with a decal, so you really don't want it to be in direct weather. It can be exposed to some elements, but not just, you want it to be under a roof or an overhang at least. I've been wanting to let you guys know that we do have a whole line of plywood shapes that are available on my Shopify site, and I will link that down below in the description box. But some of the reason that I haven't really talked about it is I've been meaning to add some more shapes and I just don't get around to it. So today, as I'm working with a plywood shape, I thought, why not just announce it? Even if not everything's on there, that eventually will be. We have plans to add a lot more. So if you're needing an inexpensive wooden shape, check it out. This is, again, plywood. It's not the pine, wood cutouts that we sell on the Etsy shop. And that's some of the reason that I decided to have it on my Shopify site, because it's a whole nother line, and I thought it would be less confusing if that was kind of kept separate. That makes sense. And since this is something, relatively new for us, let me know if you think of a shape that you would like to see. We're really open to any ideas, and I want to try to create things that people actually are looking for, because I know how hard it sometimes is to find just the right, decorating accent piece. My cousin Michael is cutting out all of these shapes for us, and he uses a high quality plywood to do it. First I thought, oh, plywood, I'm not sure if I even want to, you know, mess with it, but I've really discovered that it does stain really nicely. Like it looks like, you know, real wood, which I think it is, like a pressed wood. I'm not sure would some of it actually be real wood, but there is a nice grain to it, and you can always putty the edges if they have some of those little holes or kind of pockets in them that plywood sometimes have. And if you've worked with plywood before, you know what I'm talking about. But it's really not, you know, that hard, and a lot of the pieces don't even have those in them. Here I'm potting up a little ivy plant that I plan to add to one of the cabinet shelves. Now, of course, I'll be adding plants here in this video, but definitely taking them back in since we are still in March here in Ohio, so it would not be a good idea to have them on the outside. I have some terracotta pots that I'll have on the top shelf. The bottom shelf will have a crock full of potting soil, and if you are interested in any crocks, I don't talk about them often, but they are available on the Etsy shop. We have some really cute pictures and milk jugs along with just the regular crocks. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I can't believe that cabinet ended up on our front porch. I did not think that would happen. Normally when I redo a piece of furniture, I'll sell it, but I'm not complaining. I absolutely love it. I love the color of it. I think it goes really well with the porch and some of the other colors out there. So on another note, we have a goal this year for the Etsy shop. We want to add more listings to it. We love to make things, so you are going to hear me talk about new products that we have available on the shop. We have a number of new pillow covers, including some different designs, maybe a little bit out of the ordinary, but I think they turned out beautiful. That is one of the goals I have for the Etsy shop, is to create some new designs, maybe things that I normally wouldn't have in my shop, just trying to get a wider variety of designs. Most of these pillows are 18 inches, but a few of them are 20 and 22, and that will all be in the listing description. We also have a few more of these signs that I showed you guys recently. I'm pretty excited about them. We even have a blank one should you want to make your own sign, and that will be available in black or white. Then we have one of my favorite signs, the 10 Commandments. So if you're all looking for a fresh new sign for your wall, make sure to check these out. As always, I hope your day is going great. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.